Welcome to the Coronado Global Resources Code of Business Conduct and Ethics Training. This session will take you through what the Code of Business Conduct and Ethics is all about, explain what it means for you, and show you how it helps create an organization that we can all be proud of. At Coronado, we have a Code of Business Conduct and Ethics in place to protect ourselves and our company. It helps us understand our accountabilities, operate with honesty and integrity, uphold the values and ethics that are such an important part of the way Coronado does business. The Coronado Global Resources Code of Business Conduct and Ethics applies across all of our businesses in Australia and the United States. For the remainder of this training, we will refer to the Code of Business Conduct and Ethics policy as simply the Code. The Code is something that applies to everyone working for Coronado, whether you're a director, officer, employee, contractor, subcontractor, apprentice, trainee, student, or volunteer. As mentioned, the Code helps us to uphold the values and ethics that are fundamental to the way Coronado does business. We will start by looking at the core values that we should all operate by at all times. Collaboration, accountability, respect, and excellence can mean different things depending on your role. At the highest level, it means that we work together as a team to get the desired outcome, sharing information and having open and honest communication channels. It means we take full ownership of our successes and failures, and we do what we say we will do. It means we treat others how we would like to be treated, and we understand the value that diversity brings. It means that we maximize our efforts and strive to continuously improve and be better tomorrow than we are today. As you can see, our values spell the word care. We care for ourselves, our colleagues, and our company, and that means we work safely at all times. This is a non-negotiable requirement of being associated with Coronado. Nothing comes before the safety of anyone that enters any of our working locations. There are two guiding principles that form the foundation of the Code. The first is to always act with honesty, integrity, and fairness, and to be accountable for the decisions we make. To achieve this, we must act in a professional manner by performing our duties with care and diligence, not participating in any illegal or unethical activity, being accountable for personal decisions and actions, dealing fairly with all customers, suppliers, business partners, and competitors. All of these elements are covered in more detail as we go through this session. The second guiding principle is to always act in accordance with the law and to abide by all of the policies and procedures of your work location. This includes never offering, making, or receiving improper benefits, including bribes, facilitation payments, secret commissions, or political contributions. As well as the Code of Business Conduct and Ethics, Coronado Global Resources also has an anti-corruption policy which covers these matters in more detail. Failure to operate in accordance with this policy is contrary to the principles of integrity and fairness, and are harmful to Coronado's reputation amongst customers, suppliers, and the local community. The key thing to know is that Coronado has a zero-tolerance approach to breaches of the anti-corruption policy and all applicable anti-bribery and corruption laws at all times. Breaches of these policies will result in disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment. Gifts, entertainment, and hospitality. Coronado recognizes that accepting or offering gifts, entertainment, or hospitality of moderate value is customary as part of lots of people's roles. However, it's very important that this is approached conservatively and prudently by workers in the company to make sure that it is not considered to give rise to undue influence. The offering of gifts, entertainment, or hospitality is only permitted where all of the following conditions are met. It is done for the purpose of general relationship building only, or for maintaining business relationships or normal courtesy, and never for something in return. It is appropriate and consistent with reasonable business practice. It cannot reasonably be construed as an attempt to improperly influence the performance of the role or function of the recipient. It complies with all applicable laws, including the local law of the jurisdiction in which the expenditure is made. It is given in an open and transparent manner and never offered if full transparency or disclosure would be embarrassing to the company or the recipient. It does not include cash, loans, or cash equivalents, such as gift certificates or vouchers. It is reasonable and of modest value, both in isolation and when considered in the context of other meals, gifts, entertainment, and travel offered to the same recipient. The guiding principles give rise to a number of policy statements that help us all ensure we fulfill our obligations. These statements are: 1. Seek to make positive and sustainable economic, social, and environmental contributions to the community in which we operate. 2. Respect and maintain privacy and confidentiality of information and accuracy of business records. 3. Identify and manage conflicts of interest. 4. Treat other workers with respect, value diversity, and provide a safe working environment. 5. Respect and do not misuse the company's resources and information systems. 6. Engage in business relationships professionally and honestly, and as you will see, the policy statements cover everything pertaining to our community, our business, our behavior, our people, our resources, and our reputation. Let's look at each in turn now. Coronado believes that by understanding and caring for our local community and our environment, as well as taking care of our employees and our business, we will sustain our future. The community that we're a part of and the environment in which we live is a critical part of our identity. We make sure that our reputation is protected in many ways, and the community and environment are a big part of this. We are committed to operating in a sustainable manner and take our environmental responsibilities seriously. Workers are expected to assist the company in meeting these commitments and must report anything that could be a risk to the environment or take action to remedy if safe to do so. Each worker is responsible for understanding the environmental consequences of their role and performing it in an environmentally safe manner. In order to continuously improve and develop new business opportunities, Coronado must develop innovative ways of doing business and gaining efficiencies. During the course of your employment, you may develop, be part of, or have access to new processes, programs, or procedures which will be or are currently being used by the company. This is referred to as intellectual property and must be protected. As well as intellectual property, we must be very careful about how we treat all confidential information, including technical, strategic, or financial records and commercial arrangements, such as pricing. It is important to safeguard the integrity of the company's financial reporting, so all workers must report financial transactions accurately, honestly, and transparently. This includes exercising diligence when recording information such as production, timesheets, expense claims, parts usage, and when preparing expenditure requests. In addition, all personal information that is collected must be used, stored, handled, and updated in line with the company's privacy policy. Every worker must always use confidential information solely for the purposes of our duties. Preserve the confidentiality of the company's confidential information and ensure that it is not disclosed except on a need-to-know basis to other company personnel, authorized recipients, or as required by law. Maintain the confidentiality of information we come across in dealings with customers, suppliers, and third parties. Not use or modify any confidential information for our own or a third party's interest or benefit. A worker's personal interests should not conflict with their duties and obligations to the company. A conflict of interest may arise if workers have a direct or indirect, through a family member, friend, or associate, financial interest in a business that has commercial arrangements with the company. It could also arise in situations where friends or family members are working together, or if a friend or family member is working for a business we deal with. It is important to recognize when a relationship or activity could even be perceived to be a conflict of interest, and we must take every precaution to avoid this. To manage any perception of conflicts of interest, workers must immediately disclose any potential conflict of interest to their line manager. This includes a family member applying for a role within our business. Seek line manager approval before accepting any outside business interests, including non-Coronado work, business ventures, directorships, partnerships, or other interests that have the potential to create a conflict of interest. Keep an arm's-length relationship when dealing with customers and suppliers, and document any actual potential or perceived conflicts or as directed by their manager. As custodians of the company assets and resources, all company property and equipment we use in the course of our work is our responsibility. We must use and maintain these assets with care and respect. We must only use company resources for authorized purposes and never for personal benefit, gain, or illegal purposes of any kind. This includes the removal or sale of any company asset. The company regards the unauthorized removal of equipment, supplies, and other resources belonging to the company as theft. Computer-based data and information, including passwords, are a vital company resource. As such, workers are responsible for adequately protecting data for accidental or unauthorized access, disclosure, modification, or deletion. Workers should not provide their passwords to any other person, either within or outside the company. The company's hardware and software, including all forms of digital and electronic information, storage, and communication, are for company use only. You are not to transmit, copy, or distribute company-related information to anyone who is unauthorized by the company to receive that information. Any external software that has not been verified and authorized by the technology department must not be used on company systems. Company information systems, such as email and internet, must be used appropriately as to maintain and not risk the integrity of company information systems. Workers must also ensure that they use any social media and networking sites in accordance with the requirements of the Code of Business Conduct and Ethics and relevant information, technology, and media policies. We are all ambassadors for Coronado, so it is important to know how we conduct ourselves both inside and outside of working hours reflects on our business and its reputation. To protect our reputation, we must conduct ourselves appropriately when interacting and communicating with others inside and outside of the business. This includes at work functions, when representing the company externally, or in the use of social media. Any views expressed by a worker must be clearly seen as individual and not representative of the views of the company. We should communicate our concerns and comments internally to our leaders, not to others outside Coronado. This includes through social media. This also means we do not make any comment to the media. All requests from the media should be referred to the Vice President Investor Relations, Vice President People and Culture, CFO, COO, or CEO, and advise your manager that you have been contacted. As ambassadors for Coronado, we are all expected to conduct ourselves at all times in alignment with Coronado's values and with the Code of Business Conduct and Ethics. We all have a responsibility to care for and respect ourselves and our fellow employees. This is one of Coronado's core values, and it's essential to achieve our vision as a company. By prioritizing health and safety, avoiding things that can harm us, we can have a workplace that is respectful, free from bullying and harassment, and allows equal opportunities for everyone. Safety is absolutely paramount to everything that we do, and Coronado is fully committed to providing a safe working environment and complying fully with all local and national laws and regulations regarding safety in the workplace. All workers must take responsibility for safety by reporting any health or safety issues immediately, abide by the health and safety policies in their work location, and follow safety instructions at all times. Comply with the alcohol and drug policies that apply at their work location. Where permitted at a company site or function, alcohol must be served and consumed in a responsible manner. Comply with all smoking policies that apply at their work location. There are some serious consequences for breaching Coronado's Code of Business Conduct and Ethics, or any of the associated group policies. This includes disciplinary action up to and including termination of employment, along with legal action. So if you're unsure about something, make sure you discuss it with your supervisor, manager, or a member of your local human resources team. If you do suspect illegal or unethical conduct connected with or affecting Coronado, you should report it immediately to your supervisor, the chief legal officer and secretary, or over the relevant hotline as shown on this slide. We have a whistleblowing policy to provide guidance on how to make a report and how that report will be received and investigated. This training has given you an overview of the code's key elements, but you are strongly recommended to read through the code in detail after this training to make sure you fully understand it. There are a number of other global policies, some of which have been referred to in this training, that are also related to behavior and conduct that you should familiarize yourself with. You can access the code and the related policies through our intranet site, by contacting your manager, or by contacting human resources. Remember, this code does not refer to all laws, policy, rules, regulations, or standards applicable to Coronado employees. Many laws to which Coronado is subject are complex, and their application to Coronado business practices or activities can at times be unclear. Appropriate guidance should be sought regarding any proposed action that raises questions or creates uncertainty with respect to compliance with laws or regulations. Thanks for your participation in this very important training. Remember, at Coronado, we achieve great things by doing the right things.